world where you are watching us. This is another segment of our discourse tagged Youths and Relationships. The second segment of this discourse is tagged Healthy Relationships in Adolescent Stages of Development. Healthy relationships in adolescent stages of development. I promised bringing you another scintillating, exciting, moralistic, educative, and insightful edition of today's program, which is Focal Point. I remain your anchor, Mrs. Ajala Oshunjigboye Kemi, on our Ignite TV, online TV, powered by Ignite Online TV, igniting the good news all around the world. God bless you as you listen to the second segment of our episode, Youths and Relationship. Adolescents grow in the physical, social, and emotional stages of development in relationships. So during the adolescent years, young people learn how to form safe and healthy relationships with either friends, parents, health professionals, teachers, caregivers, and religious leaders. With even their romantic partners, all of these relationships contribute to their identity or their identity formation and peers influence. And I want to say all these play a particular big role in creating an identity during adolescence. However, relationships with caring adults, which includes parents or caregivers, mentors or coaches, are the building blocks for all other relationships, providing examples for how a young person handles these relationships. I would like to go further that this segment provides information on healthy and unhealthy adolescent relationships, which includes friendship, dating, and relationship with parents or caregivers. And broadly speaking, healthy relationships are the ones whereby the adolescents can safely feel and express respect for themselves and others. This comes from mutual trust, honesty, good communication, being understanding, and calm during arguments, and consent. While unhealthy relationships, by contrast, usually have a power imbalance. For example, there is no consent, no mutual trust, compromise or agreement or honesty in this kind of unhealthy relationships. So one of both partners in the relationship may have trouble communicating and controlling their anger. Conflict can set in whatever manner. Anger can cause conflict, mistrust can cause conflict, cheating can cause conflict, maltreatment or mistreat can cause conflict, and so on and so further and so on and so on and so forth. So some healthy relationships become physically, emotionally, or sexually violent. Therefore, unhealthy romantic relationships can help adolescents develop into functionally adults with healthy lifestyles. Healthy dating during the teenage years can be an important way to develop social skills, learn about other people, and grow into maturity. And emotionally, this can also play a role in supporting adolescents' ability to develop positive relationships in other areas, including school or academic activities, in the workplace, with their employers and employees, and with partners during adulthood. You know what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, I discussed in the first segment. The first segment, I explained the teenage experiences. So in this second segment, the teenage that is growing from one relationship will find the necessity to grow into adolescence, knowing the attitudes knowing the positive attitudes being carried from the teenage experiences or the teenage realities. So when we are talking about growing into adolescence, in other areas, we can have the adolescent in the workplace, how he or she interacts with the opposite sex, and getting the new experiences of life and the realities that comes with dating and relationship. Although it is also normal for adolescents not to be in any relationship. In fact, an adolescent might find it convenient for him or her not to be engaged in any relationship until a particular period of time. It is not a sin. So, although it is normal, so in fact, adolescents date less now than they did in the past. Among adolescents between 13 to 17 years old, nearly 2/3 have never been in a dating or romantic relationship. That's a research showing that authenticity or giving us the idea behind that. It is normal. So if an adolescent decides that he will wait till he or she gets the right partner, it's okay, and I think it's better to avoid any trauma in any relationship that might not augur well for him or her. Number 2, meeting partners online. This can be so traumatic, so discouraging, so distressing, so unpalatable. Despite media attention, few adolescents meet their romantic partners online. I would like to emphasize here that as adolescents, build positive friendships that will give you a sense of belonging, that will give you a support. Your partner must be a support system to you or for you. It is for companionship and self-esteem. Self-esteem. When you are in a healthy relationship, you are self-confident, you have a self-esteem, you are balanced, and you are healthy. That's a healthy relationship. That you can count on your partner, that you are okay with him or her. These factors will encourage or reinforce healthy behavior, like positive academic engagement. In fact, you will have a kind of terrain, a healthy terrain, whereby other areas of life will function. Your functionality will be positive in every other area, be it academics, be it in your families or your household chores, be it in your friendship, be it in emotionally, socially, you are socially connected, and you have that nature of an healthy relationship. So you develop a positive academic engagement, you develop positive social skills, you develop non-conflict or non-conflicting atmosphere, and the communication gap is positive, and it is the conflict resolution and resisting negative peer pressure is out of it. I mean, there is a kind of conflict resolution, even if no relationship, there is no marriage or relationship that is perfect. we are building on our characters. We are improving every day as at each passing day. So peer pressure and negative habits are curbed when you are in a healthy relationship. This is the evidence of a successful adult relationship, including romantic relationship. And the scripture says, evil communication corrupts good manners. That's a scriptural passage. Evil communication corrupts good manners. When you are in a bad or unhealthy relationship, you are not balanced, and you are even influenced into behaving abnormally. So I would always tell my teens, or my school teens and the adolescents, my mentees, that show me your friend and I will tell you who you really are. So says we English experts. And we English experts do say, birds of a feather flock together. So the type of people you go out with will determine your own status too. So people, go out with people with like minds. Move with people that have the same dream like you. Move with people that have the consciousness of a better life, of a better world. Do not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. So says the scripture. So, number 3, relationship with parents and caregivers. Parents and caregivers relationship. Parents such as guardians, aunts, uncles, or grandparents is one of the most important relationships in the child's life or stages of the adolescent development, often casting well into adulthood. In the adolescent years of growth, this relationship changes dramatically as youth seek increased independence. Scriptures: do not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. And number 3, it boils down to parents and caregivers relationship, such as guardians, aunts, uncles, or grandparents. This is one of the most important relationships in a child's life overall development, often casting well into adulthood. In adolescence, this relationship changes dramatically as youths seek increased independence from their homes and families. And they begin to make their own decisions with this increased independence. And with this increased independence comes the possibility of increased risk and challenges, both positive and negative. You know, I told you, especially boys, they like novelty. They are so hyperactive and restless. So they can tell you that, please stay where you belong, let me stay on mine. And they can prove that they are going into manhood. So the adolescents need parents or caregivers to help them navigate the challenges that adolescent stages represents or presents. They still rely on their parents or caregivers to provide emotional support and set limits and boundaries through some amount of conflict between the adolescents and their parents. This is normal, and both the emotional support and setting limits and boundaries are linked to positive adolescent development, and particularly child closeness. Their parents still play a large and vital role in their lives. Parents and caregivers help shaping the adolescent's self-control, plans for their future, moralistic and social values, and their broader world view. You know, as they are growing into adolescence, and while in the adolescent stages of development, they have broader minds. They are exploring their world, and they are targeting a goal. So we need to trail after them. we need to checkmate their excesses. Unlike minimizing the chances that adolescents engage in high-risk behaviors or behavior and lifestyle, research shows that parents continue to have more parental influence than peers' influence. At this stage, the parents' influence still matters. Don't just neglect them, because the peer influence is having a lot of their, is taking a lot of their emotional activity, or the emotional nature in them. So we need to enforce our parental influence as well, so that our own can overrule the peer influence. So, on taking important decisions and outcomes, including whether adolescents smoke, addiction to alcohol or drugs, or have sexual intercourse, according to psychopathologists, we should always tell our adolescents, instead of looking for a way where the peer influences are trailing them after, now let them create a way whereby they can leave a legacy where others can trail after them. They can be a good support system to their peers. So this boils down to the benefits and dangers of dating in adolescents. At a parent-teen conference on dating, a teenage girl asked this question: how old do you think, or how old do you have to be before you can start to date? That's a teenage girl asking that question. The answer is, you are old enough to date when you have achieved the following three requisites or requirements. When you are aware of both the benefits and dangers of dating. 1. 2. When you have personally searched from the scriptures a set of dating standards. And 3. When you have proposed that you will not lower these standards, even if it means losing your dates. Now, this boils down to what is dating proper. A date or going out with someone is a time pre-arranged with a person of the opposite sex. Group dating is several couples getting together. When two couples go out together, it is called a double date. A single date is going out with just one person. This brings me to a kind of an experience with my mentees. One day, about 10 of them came to me. Mommy, we want to ask a question. I said, go on. You are free. They now asked me, Mommy, is it good to double date? I said, do you even know the meaning of double dating? They said no. But in their own students' context, they believe that double dating is when you are going out as a teenager or as an adolescent, when you are going out with more than one guy or one boy or more than one girl. Though there are girls that came to me, not boys. So I told them, are you in a relationship? They said yes. I said, make sure, according to their own context, I now, I threw it back at them. I responded by saying, double dating is not good at all. Don't double date. Because according to that context of theirs, they believe that going out with two guys at a time or more than two. So I said, go and drop that idea as from today. It's not good. Be plain with your partner. Be truthful as a Christian girl or as a Muslim girl. Be truthful. Don't cheat on your partner. And I told them that when you are in a healthy relationship, it helps your academics. So your academics first. Put the first things first, one step at a time. I just advise them, and they say, "Mommy, we thank you very much. We will go and do just that." And I told them, "Come and tell me the positive outcomes when you have started that idea." And they were very happy before they left my office that very day. So first time dates are usually group dates, like picnics, skating parties, school functions, and church socials as ideal. These are ideal for first dates. You are more at ease and you do not have to carry the conversation. The first dates of a young girl should not be single dates. Note that your first date must not be single date. Go out in a group of other peers or classmates or church forum. The youths, the church youths. This brings us to the benefits of dating. What are the benefits and what are the dangers of dating? Firstly, the benefits. Dating can help you develop your personality. Just like I said, personality goes a long way. Show me the type of friend, show me the type of friend you keep, and I'll tell you who you really are. Birds of a feather flock together. When you go out with your like minds, you have the same passion, you have the same ideology, you have the same perspective, you have the same conception. So dating can help you develop your personality. You learn how to handle situations and how to grow and mature in your relationships with others. Dating, number two, dating helps you learn to get along socially, that is, for socialization. Being with a girl or a guy will be awkward at a first date, but dating can help you learn to be comfortable and at ease with those of the opposite sex. Dating can help, number three, dating can help in selection of a mate. Dating can help you in the selection of a mate or a life partner or marriage partner in future. Most times, every young person looks forward to getting married someday. Dating is one way of meeting possible marriage partners. I mean healthy dating or healthy relationship. And helping you to decide the kind of a person you would like to marry. Just like I said the other time, that you must, before you get into dating, know the standards, the scriptural standards that tells you this is how to go about it. And let's go to the next segment. Dangers of dating. Dating is not necessarily sinful, but many young people fall into sin as a result of dating. A woman of God defines sin. A woman of God that I know very well defines sin as self-inflicted nonsense. Self-inflicted nonsense. So the danger in dating is that you will do something that will seriously damage your chances for future happiness and a successful marriage. It is easier for teenagers or adolescents to think or say, I have my whole life ahead of me. The choice I make now will not affect my future family. Yes, they will. But one day, you will get it all right. Your dating patterns and the things you do will greatly affect the quality of your future life, either you like it or not. You are sowing seeds of future success or of failure in your dating years. Let us consider some of the dangers in dating. Number one, dating can lead to broken hearts. A large part of dating is flirting. According to our societal context, let me put it that way. Flirting is acting like you love someone. The object of flirting is to create a romantic attachment with the other person of the opposite sex with no serious intent on your part. Most young people realize that the relationship is temporary. There is no commitment involved. Both guy and the girl realize that either one is free to break up anytime they romance at any given time for any reason. And the two become romantically involved. They begin to bond emotionally. They will start thinking of themselves as couple. Of course, it takes two to tango. That's we English experts. It takes two to tango. So once you are in a relationship and you are emotionally attached to that person, it becomes something else that you never bargained for. You see yourselves as couples. They are seen together everywhere and viewed as a couple by their friends. They are bonding and becoming emotionally glued together. In breaking up, these two hearts, which have become glued together, are rippled or ripped apart. They become emotionally wounded and end up with scars that can last a lifetime. That is when trauma comes in. That is when violence comes in. That is when enmity comes in. One of them or both experiences a loss of self-esteem. Self-esteem is damaged. You lose your self-esteem because others will say, "Who will carry this one? This one has carried, this one has carried, this one has befriended." So let's warn our adolescents. If you lose your self-esteem as a lady and or as a boy or as a guy, and the sense of being rejected, having your heart broken is no fun at all. In fact, it can be devastating. It can have a lasting negative effect. Some young people try to deal with it by toughening their emotions. They say, "It's no big deal, I'll find someone else." And a person who is trying to rebound from a failed romance is very vulnerable. The sense of being rejected by someone they love is devastating. Often, they are frantically trying to find someone who shows an interest in them. Their normal caution is put on the back burner. Back burner. They often jump quickly into another romantic relationship, which turns out to be worse than the first. The resultant tendency is having a traumatic experience in a relationship. And number two, dating often leads to physical intimacy. I think with these few points, I'll continue from where I'm stopping for now to go into the next segment of this discourse. I want to say, according to William Shakespeare, the world is a stage and everyone a player in it. Play your part well, either as a girl, adolescent, or as a boy, adolescent. The stage is opened, but you have to play your part well for future testimony, for future success story, and for future generations to learn a positive influence from your relationship. Just like others have influences on you, like your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, your friends, your friends who are positive in nature and character, and the world at large, the society, the community, the school, and the religious bygones. I leave you with this sense of judgment, and I say, with this that I have said, I have been able to convince you that there are better ways to dating and relationships. Healthy relationships will forever be everlasting, while unhealthy relationships brings you into a trauma and a bad life experiences, which one can later regret in life. I pray are teenagers, adolescents, will forge ahead to know the truth from falsehood in dating and relationships. In youth relationships, there are better ways of doing it. And when you learn them, you'll be at peace with yourself. Within you, you have peace. And you'll be a testimony to the world around you and a positive influence in your experiences, in your life's experiences, in relationships, and even in future marriages. Thank you very much for listening. I remain your uncle, Mrs. Ajala Oshudri Kemi. Till I come your way in the third segment of this discourse, I say remain blessed. Bye-bye.